recently took control of a tanker. So they had helicopters that went over the tanker. They zip-lined people down onto the tanker who were fully armed with machine guns and the like, and they took control of the tanker. And they said that basically those tankers were part of the sanctions, that they would basically just then also called out a full blockade of all ships coming in and out of Venezuela. That was on Truth Social. Now, I don't know whether that's actually been followed up. We don't have a full blockade. There's not a whole lot of warships that are stopping boats, but I don't think there's been a lot of activity. And countries like China that were buying oil previously from Venezuela have been put off from doing that, clearly. So we're really seeing a ramping up. But this latest strike on the Venezuelan port, I think, is interesting because this is actually an attack on Venezuelan soil. This isn't just taking out a boat that's reported to have drugs on it. This is actually striking mainland Venezuela. So this is really stepping things up a lot. And it's interesting that the USA is saying that it's enforcing the sanctions against these Venezuelan ships. It isn't doing that with the Russian ships that are sanctioned. That it's not boarding Russian vessels and taking control of those, which obviously I don't think would go down particularly well in Moscow or the Kremlin. It's not doing that. It's really just focusing its efforts on Venezuela. And obviously, we've talked about this before, that Venezuela has the largest oil supplies in the world. It's got the biggest reserves. Now, that oil isn't the highest grade, so you would have to refine it quite a lot before you can use it. But it does have some really valuable resources within the country. And Donald Trump recently said in his Truth Social post that the USA wants its assets back. And that relates back to the seizure of all of the US JVs that had been set up in the sort of 50s and 60s with big US oil majors. Then in 1976, the president at that time decided that he was nationalizing all of those assets and taking them into Venezuelan ownership. So that's been the situation since 1976. And I think what we're seeing here is that Donald Trump sees the opportunity of potentially Maduro being taken out as the president of Venezuela. The USA currently have a $50 million bounty on his head for any information that can be given that will lead to his arrest and imprisonment. And obviously that would then lead to a regime change. And the opposition leader in Venezuela is actually pro-USA. She's not a big communist, so she wants to open up Venezuela and go into international trade and bring in foreign investments and basically move it back to where it was in the 1950s and 60s, which clearly would be very beneficial for any oil company that's involved in that. Chevron still has a relationship with Venezuela. It's still dealing with Venezuelan oil. It was given a license when Donald Trump took over to continue doing that. So the USA could potentially be one of the biggest winners if Venezuela does see a regime change and opens itself up to international trade. So just wanted to highlight the fact that we've seen this strike now, which is really the next level, over and above these boats being taken out that are reported to be holding drugs and destined for the USA. We've now seen the port itself being attacked because, and it wasn't just boats in the port, we've seen, well, it's reported that there's damage to the port because that's where all of these drugs were being loaded. So I just wanted to make this video really just to make sure that you're aware of this, the escalation of the situation between the USA and Venezuela, because Venezuela is a communist country. Traditionally, it's backed by Russia and China and Iran. So a lot of the people and a lot of the countries that are sort of against the USA ideologically. So I doubt if Venezuela would actually get any backup from those countries if some sort of conflict arises between Venezuela and the USA. I can't see Russia stepping in to support Venezuela, and don't think China will either. Iran doesn't really matter. I don't think they are powerful enough. But it's really interesting that this is really starting to bubble up right now. And I think in the next 3 to 6 months, we're very likely to see this come to a head. I think Nicolas Maduro's time as the president of Venezuela is probably limited. The CIA are reported to be involved. Whether or not they are, no confirmation of that. But I think Nicolas Maduro's heavily guarded at the moment. He will have all of the special forces from Venezuela surrounding him to make sure that nobody can get to him. But I think it's very likely that over the next 6 months or so, that he will probably leave his position as the president and somebody else will take over. And that could open up Venezuela and reduce all of the sanctions that are currently in place against the country. Anyway, I wanted to just make this quick video. If you've been following me, you'll know that I'm trying a slightly different style. So let me know what you think of this style. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget about my competition where you can win my beach house, another way of supporting the channel. If you're not interested in my beach house, you can also pick up £250,000 in cash in any currency that you like. So definitely worth having a look at that. Have a look at the QR code on the screen now. Scan that with your phone. It'll take you straight through, or you can have a look in the link in the description below. Thank you very much for watching this video all the way through to the end. Thanks to everyone that's supporting me already. And here's something to put a smile on your face.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, 99.9% of you guys are totally normal and have nothing to worry about. And just know that if you are socially awkward or a troll or trying to cause problems, you've been given, especially if you've been given a second chance.
Damn Ruskies.
You're gonna pay for this bullshit! Keep quiet! Keep fucking quiet! No fucking sound!
Мне тут пиздец как не нравится, но
No
у нас
sound!